Welcome to an exciting journey through the most remarkable organ of the human body, the brain. Have you ever wondered how your brain works, and how it is responsible for almost everything you do? In this video, we will explore the structure of the human brain, its functions, and its significance in shaping human behavior. From the cerebrum to the cerebellum, and the brainstem, we will take you on a comprehensive tour of this complex organ. Get ready to be amazed by the wonders of the human brain, and join us on this fascinating adventure. The human brain is the most complex and remarkable organ in the body. It is responsible for regulating and controlling almost all of the body's functions, including movement, sensation, perception, emotion, and cognition. In this article, we will provide a comprehensive overview of the structure of the human brain, its functions, and its significance in shaping human behavior. The human brain weighs around 3 pounds and is made up of over 100 billion neurons, which are the cells that transmit electrical and chemical signals throughout the brain. The neurons are connected by a network of synapses, which allow them to communicate with one another. The brain is divided into 3 main parts: the cerebrum, the cerebellum, and the brainstem. Each part has a distinct structure and function. The cerebrum is the largest part of the brain and is responsible for most of the brain's higher functions, such as consciousness, learning, memory, and language. It is divided into 2 hemispheres, the left and the right, which are connected by a band of fibers called the corpus callosum. Each hemisphere is divided into 4 lobes: the frontal lobe, the parietal lobe, the temporal lobe, and the occipital lobe. The frontal lobe is responsible for executive functions such as decision-making, planning, and reasoning. The parietal lobe is responsible for processing sensory information, such as touch and spatial awareness. The temporal lobe is responsible for processing auditory information and is also involved in memory formation. The occipital lobe is responsible for processing visual information. The cerebrum also contains the basal ganglia, which are a group of structures involved in the control of movement. The limbic system, which is involved in emotion and motivation, is also part of the cerebrum. The cerebellum is located at the back of the brain, underneath the cerebrum. It is responsible for coordinating movement, balance, and posture. It receives information from the sensory systems in the body, as well as from the cerebrum, and uses this information to control and coordinate movement. The brainstem is the most primitive part of the brain and is located at the base of the brain, between the cerebrum and the spinal cord. It is responsible for controlling many of the body's automatic functions, such as breathing, heart rate, and blood pressure. It is also involved in the regulation of sleep and arousal. The brainstem is divided into 3 main parts: the midbrain, the pons, and the medulla oblongata. The midbrain is involved in the control of visual and auditory reflexes, while the pons is involved in the regulation of breathing and other automatic functions. The medulla oblongata is responsible for regulating vital functions, such as breathing and heart rate. Neurons and neural networks. The neurons in the brain are organized into complex neural networks, which are responsible for all of the brain's functions. Each neuron has a cell body, which contains the nucleus and other organelles, and 1 or more processes called axons and dendrites. The dendrites receive signals from other neurons, while the axons transmit signals to other neurons. The signals are transmitted across the synapses, which are the small gaps between the neurons. The transmission of signals across the synapses is achieved by the release of chemicals called neurotransmitters. The neural networks in the brain are responsible for all of the brain's functions, including sensation, perception, movement, emotion, and cognition. These networks are constantly changing and adapting in response to the environment, a process known as neuroplasticity. The significance of the human brain. The human brain is the most complex and sophisticated organ in the body, and it plays a critical role in shaping human behavior and experience. Some of the most significant aspects of the human brain include consciousness. The brain is responsible for generating our subjective experience of the world, including our awareness of our surroundings, thoughts, and emotions. Without the brain, we would not be conscious beings. Learning and memory. The brain is responsible for our ability to learn, store, and retrieve information. This ability is critical for human development, as it allows us to adapt to our environment and acquire new skills and knowledge. Language. The brain is responsible for our ability to use and understand language, which is a fundamental aspect of human communication. Movement. The brain is responsible for controlling our movements, from the simplest reflexes to complex behaviors. Emotion. The brain is responsible for generating and regulating our emotions, which are a critical aspect of human experience. Cognition. The brain is responsible for all aspects of human cognition, including perception, attention, decision-making, problem-solving, and creativity. The study of the human brain is an active area of research, with many exciting discoveries and advancements being made every year. Understanding the structure and function of the brain is essential for the development of new treatments for brain disorders, such as Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, and schizophrenia. The human brain is a complex and remarkable organ, responsible for regulating and controlling almost all of the body's functions. Its structure and function have been the subject of intense research for many years, and our understanding of the brain continues to evolve as new discoveries are made. The study of the brain is critical for understanding human behavior and experience, and for the development of new treatments for brain disorders.